Hello, and we're calling the Township of Sparta Environmental Commission meeting to order at 7:06. We are live in the council chambers at the municipal building and also live streamed at www.youtube.com at Sparta TWP/streams. Please take notice that the actions will be taken on the following items at the Sparta Environmental Commission meeting tonight, Thursday, October 26, 2023. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the public and the press on January 6, 2023, by delivering to the press and posting on the township website a copy of this notice. Can I have roll call, please, Michelle?
Yes, Councilman Dean Blumetti,
Here.
Chairwoman Kim Knoll,
Here.
Vice Chair Neil Sauerwein,
Here.
Christine Dunbar,
Here.
Ted Gall,
Here.
Christine Rogers,
Here.
Linda Tower.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please join me in saluting the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. No minutes to approve at this time. We do have several correspondence items, two of which were just added to the agenda today. So I know folks didn't get a chance. I mean, literally, we just added it like 10 minutes before the meeting. So I know people didn't get a chance to pre-review it. But do we want to start with the maps and the freshwater wetlands transition area waiver that we have to review, since the materials are down there? And then we'll go to the other correspondence? Okay. Maps down there, Ted, we gotta go check out. Guess they're doing a whole of any rock fall possibilities along Route 15. So it's not just in Sparta, it goes from all the way from Jefferson all the way up to Sparta. And there's several places.
Have there been any incidents, any fatalities or damages to vehicles because of rock falls?
I haven't heard of any. I don't know if anybody else has. It's a number of places along Route 15. It doesn't, this one they left.
Okay.
So they're
Yeah.
looking for response from us. We're going to be late because we didn't get this in time for the last meeting.
Do they have a statement in which they're explaining to us why they feel this area, this highlands hard, very hard rock, is going to fall on the road?
No, that's not a statement that's included in anything I've seen. I don't know if you want to look at that one. Because that was too big to send to everybody. This letter you should have had. All right, for each one, basically, they're showing you limit of the disturbance. Yeah, and there's a number of them. Trying to get to the Sparta ones. Here we go. I think everything up this side is not Sparta. Yeah, okay. So that's all Jefferson. Here's the ones that are in between us and Jefferson.
They must be planning on widening it, huh?
They're doing some remediation of the rocks so that the rocks don't fall. That's what they're saying. Kind of hard to read though, isn't it? Match line between 15, base station. This one, there's no riparian zone disturbances on this sheet. Okay. All right, so that was one. No riparian zone disturbances on this sheet either. Okay. We're still saying no riparian zone disturbances. I guess this is the road, right? Am I reading this right? I know.
I guess these are the railings, or these are the
side
guardrails,
rails.
right?
I think
Yeah,
that's what it is.
okay,
And these are manholes, right?
yeah. This is the elevation going away from the road, well, the
Yeah.
elevation in general.
Yeah.
right?
So it's site 20.
Yeah.
There are no riparian disturbances on this one. The FHADF elevation was determined by method 5.
Hmm. Do you see that?
I'm thinking, is this just like what their red fund? The our organization did it had like a lot of this information, so I'm wondering if that's almost like what they are typing in red. Like, of what's included in this packet.
Red is what is, or
Like
what is
what?
excluded?
No, what they, like, these I think are the directions of the permit, and then they're kind of whatever their, let's say commentary is in red, or indicating, or they're indicating.
lot
what
of
they
Sparta
included.
ends
See
up
how it has like the X
Yeah.
over there? I think this is the part you want to start looking at. I think this is all just the beginning part.
I guess the inspired
This goes
breath.
under.
Some of those look different, right? So is that where they're doing more work, I guess?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
so this is where they really start.
There's endangered species data and a statement about swamp pink and bog turtles.
Limit of disturbance, so they're only doing within this dotted line. Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, it's a very narrow
Yeah,
patch, right, on one side, maybe?
yeah. And then this is the, oh no, that's not the flood hazard. Limit of disturbance. Riparian zone is over here, but it looks like they're doing the work over here.
This is like this. Okay. Asking what are they-
They don't show any of the intersections, so there's one.
There's one intersection,
Kind of,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Which intersection?
Why are they doing this? I still don't know why they're doing it.
I guess they're to minimize the chances of rocks falling, right?
But-
They must sense that there's a
Sense,
new risk.
they have to do more than sense. They have to have documentation that there's been some rocks on the road.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe they have that, I don't know why they would do this without,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this one does have some riparian zone that is going to be disturbed in this little section here.
That's within our.
Hmm.
I mean, it's already been disturbed, because that
guess
looks
that's
like
the
that's
first
like
question
guardrail
I
over
would
there.
Yeah,
Is that blue heron or is it?
I
mean, it
don't
might be
know. It
based
looks
just
like blue
on
heron though,
the-
doesn't
the
it? Is this
steepness of
pan
the slope and
forest?
the closeness of
right
the
here?
road, But
That looks like the
they could
pan
just say
forest.
that. Yeah.
What's that?
You know where they have all those pans hanging in trees?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
it's our own little mystery here in Sparta.
Oh,
pan
I
forest.
haven't
Yeah.
seen that. Is that by the lake?
No,
By-
no,
Is it
it's
by
right
where
by
we were
Blue Heron
cleaning?
where we were cleaning.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that area? Did we figure it
Which
out?
side is
What
that?
pan forest is?
What that special area where we were cleaning is that went way back and it looked like it was mowed all the way
Oh.
back?
It's
Yeah.
pan forest back in there. You climb up this hill and this is where I think pan forest is. There's a bunch of
Pan-
pans, P-A-N, frying pans hanging in trees.
I haven't seen that.
You should go
I
there,
go
yeah,
in
you'd
there all
like
the
it.
time.
How
So-
fun.
so
Yeah, I haven't heard that either.
I don't know.
Like now, you should be able to see it because it's, all the leaves are off.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like,
So if you're
Where-
coming
where is
off
it?
the road, like say you're coming
In
off the
relation-
highway.
Coming north on
North traffic.
15,
Yeah,
before you get into center of town, right? That first exit off, right up here on that hill.
on the exit ramp?
Off the exit ramp, but up that steep hill. Not on this side, on the outside.
Okay.
And
you're
you have to
coming
go-
off the exit?
Yeah, as you're
Yeah,
coming
loop.
off,
Okay.
it's gonna be on your left-hand
Really?
side. You can't see it because it's up that steep hill.
Okay.
Only when you're coming down if the sun is hitting it, right? Do you know Pan
Yeah,
Forest?
Yeah?
Google it, you'll see.
Okay.
It's a mystery. It's our own little mystery. We're in that strange New Jersey book.
Weird New
Really?
Jersey?
Weird
Are
New
we
Jersey,
really?
yeah,
Yeah.
for Pan Forest, yeah.
Cool.
Funny.
I guess this is just a tax map.
Okay, so only some of these have riparian zone disturbances. Looks like two of the sites. All the rest are saying they don't.
And the repair, the
Seems to
disturbance
me It
is
should have been in the front. where
very
they
narrow,
actually
right? Right
said
along
why
the
it had to happen.
guardrails,
Yeah,
a few feet.
yeah. So this whole area here, but it doesn't seem like it's very far back.
It's all, Sheila Oliver's passed away.
I guess I'm just curious, two things. One, is your question is what led up to this? Like, what's the rationale for needing this? And then I'm wondering, the disturbance, do they expect long-term disturbance to these riparian areas? Or is it just during the project and there won't be any long-term implications? I'd like to know that.
Yeah.
Although it's right along the highway. It's right in the shoulder of the highway and right behind the guardrail. It's not like it's a riparian area, 100 yards off into the woods.
Sure.
So is what they're doing going to cause flood hazards and riparian and wetlands damage? And that's what they're asking permits for?
I think the area they're doing it, I could be wrong, is just, if this is, say this room is northbound 15.
Yeah.
And this is the guardrail, and there's the rock wall. I think they're just coming in on this side of it, like a few feet, changing the wall, maybe putting in a different safety ditch.
Actually, it seems to be it's to prevent water from flooding also.
The highway.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
I think it's just a real narrow, several feet wide, really long.
Oh,
Rock
Yeah.
slope scaling and removal of several rock outcrops.
This is just part of the bigger
Adjacent
pack.
to Route
Okay.
15.
They don't show where it
Project
narrows down
proposes-
by the railroad
That
tracks.
makes sense
The
to clear that
excavation,
out so it can
excavation of
flow,
rock
right?
attachment ditches
Could also-
in designated area.
Vernal pool.
Could also be created by the construction of, oh, wow. Never
Do
mind.
they have anything in there that shows
Could be
by the
created
railroad
construction of
tracks?
the Highway.
No railroad track pictures yet, but lots of vernal pool,
There are
large
no
wetland.
rock- There's no rock down by the railroad tracks, is
No.
there? It's
I think it's
mostly
only
up
in
by,
Because there's
Up
a
by-
pond there and there's a dam
Wish
under
they'd
the
tell us what
road.
township it was in, right?
That's where the
Yeah.
problem
There's
is.
so many
I
townships
don't know
that are
if you guys want to
involved,
see that one.
but it's all on Route 15 North,
It's
all of
only
these
where there's
places.
steep rocks on the side of the highway.
Does that look
Right,
familiar
that's-
to you?
It has to be coming up from Jefferson, that first,
yeah.
going
Yeah.
down to the middle of town, that first few miles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
Oh, look at that, a vernal pool again. Yeah, pictures. Take a look at the pictures. So it's, I didn't see a rock slope yet in any of
Well,
those
I think
pictures.
it's mostly to prevent flooding and not mitigating rock falling. Because here it says,
Mm,
to excavation of rock fall catchment ditches in designated areas, installation of guardrails, resurfacing of shoulder, and reconfiguring of existing drainage features.
That's a good thing.
Where they really need to do something is right here.
Yeah,
Where are
Right
you
there.
pointing?
right where it becomes a single lane highway, he's talking
Yeah.
about.
That's what they're not doing anything there.
Well, now they've got lovely drainage basins lining that area.
I tried calling them, but talking to them, but they wouldn't talk to me.
Oh,
They said they'd only talk to the town engineer,
oh.
Hmm.
That's deflating.
the Department of Transportation.
Rockfall mitigation, yeah, they're calling it rockfall mitigation, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both flooding and. All right, so we're asking for, I'll go take some notes. Clarification as to why.
Yeah, just clarification,
Yeah.
why they're doing it. If they don't do it, what would happen?
Nothing.
All right, anything else we want to add, or we're still looking?
So this summary, I think you read some of this, is rockfall measures, including removing, rockfall removal, installation of rock catchment ditches, clearing of vegetation at designated locations, upgrading damaged and substandard guide rails,
Hmm.
reconstruct and reconfigure existing drainage features within an affected area. Project proposes approximately 0.7 acres of freshwater wetland transition area disturbance. So it's not just Sparta, right, but Jefferson and however long this project is, I guess it's so narrow, but it's being its miles, it's 0.7 acres. Out here it says total disturbance 0.72 acres. Permanent disturbance 0.185 acres. Temporary disturbance 0.53 acres.
This is Brood here, so it zooms. Looks like it goes.
My comment would be is that they're stopping before where the work is needed. The work
Clarify
is
the
needed where it
consequences of
narrows
not taking
down
such action
by
that they're
the railroad
proposing, I
tracks.
think,
Yeah,
would be helpful to me to help understand what's happening.
okay.
But I think, Ted, they're only focused on the rockfall right now. Just from the areas where there's the steep rocks along 15. I don't think they're looking to improve 15. Right?
They're they're planning on doing where work is really not required, where the work is required, they're not doing.
option of doing nothing. Current risks, no disturbance.
Read something like
Allow rock masses to fall. On regular maintenance.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're, this is June, 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
So the three options are do nothing, protection, and removal. And we're choosing. Removal.
A little combination, looks like, right? Ditch widening and. Maybe you want to come around?
There's another option.
Spatially.
That's not a question. Point out in the concept development report from June 2017, one of the options is do nothing. Why was that not chosen?
Weird.
No disturbance will allow rock masses to
You know
fall.
where this is, Ted?
Designated catchment areas following regular maintenance.
No,
Just this
I'm
one.
not familiar with it.
How about block this right here?
Not familiar with Timber Valley Tree Farm.
About this right here, Isis Lane, I think. Here we go again.
But I'm not,
Hmm.
I can't picture that.
The comparison of
They
the
want a
different
farm
options.
back in there on Demarest Road.
Look at that, because that's where they said they compared
Part of it, you
and
know,
scored
like
them.
it goes down farther.
Not there.
So much here.
This is the front, I think, right?
Building there so they can.
Yeah, I
put the-
wouldn't. Guy wants to put a shed on his property, I wouldn't worry
Page
about it.
56.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Concept development report.
Uh-oh.
Here's
Going
the
to
bog
choose to
turtle
develop
thing.
it, but not at the moment. Mhm. Who is the owner of that? I thought Germany.
Compare the different options, and the do nothing was feasible, possible, right? It would sufficiently address the issue.
Mhm.
Like, I guess it wasn't as much of a concern at the time, right?
Mhm.
That would suffice, but
Yeah.
but one of the other options is ranking higher. So why is that?
What are the factors?
Right, like what are the
criteria?
factors causing the days?
Yeah. And that's independent C.
Which
Yeah.
is not, not with us.
Which, yeah, it's not here.
I believe that farmland preservation is good,
Hmm.
but people should be able to put buildings on the preserved land to protect their equipment that they use to farm with.
Yeah, and they should also be allowed to have a house. And I think they are, actually.
In fact, my boat is wintering on preserved farmland.
Oh, nice. Great.
In a shed.
You know where the bridge is that goes over?
Oh, yeah.
And all the red is,
Oh, well.
That's surprising. There's some down by the 571.
yeah, that's Main Street. Ah. That's the bridge over Main Street.
And there's the interchange.
Yeah.
Surprised, I didn't think there was any rocks there. Maybe that's just more of the ditches and flood area. Yeah. But it's elevated. You're going,
Hmm.
oh, no, actually, no, it's not elevated, right?
No.
517 goes over it.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Think you wanna talk about?
Well, we found in this report, this concept development report from 6 years ago, they looked at concepts and alternatives. And one of the alternatives, the first one was do nothing. Take a glance at how it's written. Seems like it might be a viable option.
Yeah.
But there's some appendix C, which is not here, that shows a comparison of the alternatives. rates them somehow. Comes up
Oh,
with-
so we should ask for them.
Yeah,
Appendix C, okay.
yeah, and I guess just ask why, or was the do nothing option in this report considered? Or they might just say, well, disturbance is so minor and the benefits of doing all this are great.
Because if it's in like a matrix comparing the different options, it's
Yeah.
different parts of this make it sound like they were scored and ranked and determined. So even if the do nothing is viable, they're saying the other options
Or better.
are better.
Mhm.
So why, like,
Why?
what is that based on?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
See this?
Yeah. Interesting. This says that the tri-colored bat
Mhm.
is anticipated to be listed in 2023. So if this project hasn't started by then they have to go back and get another ruling from the Department of Interior. Tri-colored bat.
So this one says that the do nothing option was the one that was determined to move forward with for certain sites.
Hannah Bat.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe these are alternatives based on each location,
Yeah,
not the whole project.
I
yeah,
think the cover
I
letter
think so.
addresses.
So they did decide to do
all
nothing
Indian.
for some sites.
I got it. Okay,
Yeah,
so it might be okay to do nothing here, but then a
right,
quarter mile down the road,
right.
one of these other options is better suited.
Then they said for, okay, so I don't know how many sites this is. They're doing nothing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Not worried about that.
No,
Are
action.
worried about
Okay, there's actually 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, they decided to do nothing. For 5 sites, they decided to do a rigid fence.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
these sites, they decided to do mesh. This site, they did, yeah, so I think this
So it's
is,
All the options available for each site got their own answer,
right,
their own determination.
yeah,
Okay, that makes more
Exactly.
sense.
yeah. And now I guess these are the ones that they've narrowed down, should have something done. How many sites was it again? 30-something? Not all of them are in Sparta, but. Thirty-seven sites,
37?
yeah. About half of which are in Sparta. Any other?
Same as I did.
Doesn't seem like there's any, besides those questions, anything in my mind of major things.
Yeah,
It's a narrow thing along,
yeah,
maybe it's not 3 or 4 feet, maybe it's 10 or 15 or 20 feet, but
yeah.
There's something in this Department of Interior letter that talks about, there's like a whole checklist about the different bats and whether or not it's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Did it say there, it is an issue for any of the bats?
yes, but it seems like they're giving the go-ahead anyway.
this part on it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this cover letter, and then it says,
I'm seeing if I can bring up that with this land that they're talking about in Sparta here.
the proposed project is not completed prior to the effective date of the final rule to list the tricolored bat anticipated in 2023. The action agency
see
should
where it is, but it's-
reinitiate consultation with the service to determine if additional
Right here.
conservation measures may be appropriate to avoid adverse effects to the species.
This is where that warehouse project.
Find out if the
It's
tricolored
like-
bat was
Listing.
formally like final.
Listed.
This right
Yeah,
here
yeah.
is 104 Demarest Road, right here.
This is where they need the whiting is, I shouldn't have touched it.
Has to initiate,
From where Lafayette Road joins Route 15.
they would have to come back
Yeah.
voluntarily,
Oh, you're talking
And
about
do it.
right here.
like for an
over here,
additional
'cause
I don't know.
review,
Yeah.
like
This
what
is the
holds them
shop
to
right
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, down here.
Good.
I mean,
Are
we
they
should,
going
we should
to?
ask them
Guess
if
we
they
could-
have.
If we point it
Right.
out, they can't, they didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, you're.
That new, medical building add-on is
And
right
then there
here.
was stuff in here, like if anything is
need it,
noticed
it's
or you
right-
come
right-
across
right at
a
this
long-eared
junction,
bat,
it's like-
then it has to
You
be
can
like
see
brought to
where
their
15
attention.
is wide,
Maybe
and
we
then it
need
comes
like a
into
BioBlitz as part, or a BioBlitz team that goes.
I think I'll
out and,
watch
like,
them.
the railroad.
Yeah, well, even just the surveys, like once a
This is
year.
the
just-
Yeah.
railroad here.
Yeah, they need to widen it through here. That's what they need to do.
So I'll mention
Rather
the
than-
bats
Yeah,
Widen it
on the Fish and Wildlife.
where they're
Okay.
taking the rocks out.
Yeah, September 19th.
That's all right. They don't have a problem there. They have
I
a
think
problem right
22.
here.
22, okay.
With rocks and mitigation,
No, they have, that it narrows down to 2 lanes.
a traffic problem,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, great, cool.
What order this was in?
I know, I have no idea. It was all in this
But
one
then they
big book.
moved the
think it
traffic
goes like
problem
this.
up.
At first,
Yeah,
oops, but I don't know where that
There's
came
no-
from.
When they come
Oh,
from Lafayette.
the back. Oh,
then the reason they
We
didn't
still
widen
kind of
it
late,
is
so maybe.
Yeah, I
So
think that
good.
was near the
I
back,
don't know
but I
about
don't
this
know
one.
where. This was
Encroachment.
That was
That was
separate,
separate, okay.
yeah. Well, that
I was
here,
trying to pay close
Against the-
attention, but I
They
didn't.
would
see
not
that.
go down the town.
So I think it was like this.
There you go.
Of course,
Here's that.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about, right?
yeah, of course.
It's in the back.
No, there's no bats.
Even if they made it
Oh,
one way.
There might be.
That's right. Where can you see you from? Like you said, the sun has to.
guys were
hit it
doing
just
that
right.
Father John's
Sort of
the
like
other
just
day.
stop on the-
You can
There's no
see why
reason.
they're having so much
That's when you really
problems with
can see it.
flooding now
Like maybe
because
in
of
the
all the
fall.
development in the past 20 years that's come in.
Yeah,
And there's
I
all
think
those
you should,
trees have
but
been
as long
cut
as the
away.
sun's
So,
coming.
and if you look at a topo map, you can see the slope goes slightly down into where
like
Father
when you come
John's is right here.
Yeah.
And that's why they're having the problems that they're having. If all of these people planted about
I'm a weird New Jersey freak, so.
6
I
to
knew
12
that, that's why.
trees
How long's it been?
around here, a lot of that would be mitigated
Now
and
we
we
look
wouldn't
over
have that flooding that they're having now, I think.
Oh, well.
Okay. Next item is the Sussex County Agricultural Development Board minutes. Again, this last minute ad. I've now had a chance to read it. I think some other folks have. But I give you a minute if you want to look at it and let me know what other comments or questions we have.
Have any preserved farms in Sparta?
I think we do. That one, that had the guy that put the sign up that he wasn't supposed to. That wasn't, it was too close to the road or something.
Is that in the farmland?
I don't know if it's preserved, actually. They might take that back. Any comments or questions on the Agricultural Development Board minutes?
Which one, the September or the earlier one?
Well, you have 2 minutes. You have the Agricultural Board minutes and the Open Space minutes. So the first one that I'm talking about is the agricultural one. It's the bigger paper.
I do have a comment on that.
Okay.
It appears that WT Holdings in Sparta has requested its land to be leased to Anderson Farms and designated as a commercial farm. This is 104 Demarest Road,
Mm-hmm.
and this is an area that is right at the other end of Demarest Road before it turns into where the houses are. And it's at a very vital area for the Sparta tributaries.
Okay.
So I'm just noting that it's noted in here, they may choose to develop it, but not at this time. So now it'll be leased to Anderson Farms, which is commercially farming it for hay and corn. So that's just something I think we all should be aware of, because that's prime property.
Yeah.
And one of the owners appears to be William Dermody of Techplex, which is just down the road there.
Actually, if you Google 104 Demarest, you come up with TechFlex.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah. And didn't this property a few meetings ago, didn't we have a notice of a DEP flood hazard or wetlands
Determination.
wetlands interpretation or something for this property?
104 Demarest.
Yeah, we did,
114. I
about a
think was
year
on the
ago.
Or
Mhm.
was that 114?
114
Ah,
on the agenda.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was the same one.
Okay. So it must be just next door.
So we were looking at that, and we were looking at easements.
The one that we did on Demarest was almost entirely wetlands. And I don't think it was this property.
Okay. Ah, it's right next door.
Yeah, that
Okay.
makes sense.
So that's interesting. So 114 looks like the property with all the open space. And 104 looks like it's TechFlex. But that's just based on Google Maps, not tax maps, but
We could run the ERI and see what we get.
yeah,
Okay.
just to see, because I'd be concerned if you're looking for it to be designated a commercial farm if most of the property is TechFlex. I mean, there's probably something we're missing there. It's probably just a separate part of the property, but it might be worth looking into.
That's right near where the rail trail, the abandoned rail trail goes through.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
That the county might be considering, and we might consider asking for, which is the next topic, the Trails Grant.
Yeah.
County Trails Grant.
Yep. So do we want to move on to the Open Space Committee meeting minutes? Go ahead, Chris. That's what you're just talking about.
That's what I was looking at. They're gonna open the Trails Grant program again.
Yep.
And we do have a trail, sort of a trail going right through there. It would be nice to really have that designated, because once people start enjoying it and appreciating it, they become more aware of what's going on around them and the ecological value of the area.
Yeah. They said in the minutes, Michelle, that they're going to send, when they open the grant process again, they're going to send it to the clerks. We haven't seen anything though, right? Not that you know of? Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
Because these are from June, so they were going to do presentations, they said,
Yeah,
in September, and I didn't see any, I didn't hear them.
they said
Anything like
somewhere in
that.
here they were gonna do it in the winter time, I thought.
Yeah, September, October.
Presentations in September, applications in December, and January approval.
Yep.
And then when you look at the dollar amount, it's,
Maybe they didn't end up getting approval from the commissioners.
It's only $250 to $500.
It's the minutes from the Open Space Committee.
Yep, what page?
Page 3,
But if two municipalities
like the
together
third
is
paragraph,
up to
Michelle,
15,000.
says they're going
Okay.
to do presentation and then,
Yep.
yep.
And they were going to reach out to all the county clerks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Somebody says the $250 doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. All right, so we'll follow up with them to find out what happened with that process. I know it seems like they were looking to change the rules for the grant process and get additional dollars, and maybe it got hung up in that process. Any other comments on the open space? Okay. We had no applications today, and we'll open it up for public comment, and we have no public. So moving on to reports. You want to go first, Christine, as the planning board liaison?
Well, from what I can remember of the other night, which is a very long meeting on the planning board, most of the discussion took place with the Wilson family, I believe, where they presented their, started to present their vision of what they would like the PCED area to look like. And they, the family was there. I think the grandfather or the father and the son. The son, it seems that the family favors keeping ownership of the property and developing it as much as possible. And they looked at the latest proposal for the PCED with the extended boundaries for the wellhead and from the street inward, and they were objectionable to that. But it was they were here, and it was a pleasant meeting, and at least now it's out in the open what their intention is.
Was there any discussion about them raising revenue through selling their development rights?
About what?
Was there any discussion about them selling their development rights at all? Or, to
There-
raise some cash or?
That idea, I don't think was proposed by any member of the public, although a couple of people expressed regret at their decision from the public to develop that. I think it was our role in the planning board at that time just to really listen very, very carefully and try to understand, what, and have them understand also why we did this. I don't think they really understand why we did this. We're trying to protect the recharge and the environment in that area because it's abutted against so many other, proposed developments. So it was more of that type of a meeting. Yeah, the man who, the gentleman, Mr. Wilson, who was there representing his family with the lawyer was, I believe, a developer or somebody who was versed in development and was on a planning board in his community. So, yeah, that's not really good news. We'll have to see where that leads, maybe to a compromise.
I know there's no real way for you to answer this question, Dean. But has the town council done any, have they looked into any sort of conservation purchases as a new policy since we last talked?
Not that I'm aware of, yeah. I think I don't believe that the owner has pursued that or approached or showed interest in having it not be developed. That's kind of what we heard the other night, is that their intention is they'd like it to develop it still.
Just
They didn't
wondering.
have any specific plans, though. I think they weren't prepared to actually share a concept,
Mhm.
actually. So my understanding is that they'll be
Understood.
back again. Everything's still on hold. They're gonna come back again to maybe share more of a, not site plans, not details, just more of a vision. But so far, all the conversation that we heard in the sessions are that they want to develop it.
It'd be nice to have like a hypothetical with them just to say, have you even considered? And then they could say, no, we would never. For fair market value, sell this. For conservation, we would never do it. And then we could say, okay, we won't contact a conservation organization to approach you.
Yeah. They actually did say during the planning board meeting that the attorney said that they had been in touch with the state ag development. I forget the initials actually right now, I'm drawing a blank, but SADC maybe? And the attorney had been in contact with them.
For farmland preservation.
Yeah, and he's gonna speak. He was asked that publicly. I think somebody asked him that. The attorney said, yes, I have been. I'm gonna talk more to my client about that.
Well, that's interesting and
Yeah,
promising.
So we'll see, yeah, but there has been no like behind the scenes conversations, and even at the planning board level, there's been no discussions with them at all except in public.
Mhm.
And when they've been talking about development, did they say we're looking to find a warehouse developer? Or what did they say around development?
Recall, they were a little vague or unsure about what the ideal plan would be. I think at one point they might have suggested something more in the back of the property, like a small light industrial or a warehouse, something, and then maybe in the front more commercial, but they weren't too definitive about that.
I heard them say the word strip mall. It would be a strip mall, but it would be one that was modernized, not to look like a conventional strip mall, that was kind of offset with different shingles and everything. That's what he had envisioned along the front, and then hopefully in the back, he was hoping to get at least 2 warehouses as big as possible on both sides there. And, he wanted the wetlands, delineated wetlands, to change a little bit. Because it could be shaped into a warehouse that, a bigger warehouse. This was the gist of it, I think. Yeah, so there would have to be some trade-off because wetlands is wetlands, but there could be some compromising, put a little more wetlands here, a little less there, so they could shape the biggest warehouses possible.
So to me, it's worth having a conversation with New Jersey, I always get their name wrong, New Jersey Conservation, right? What is the name? That presented with us.
The Land Conservancy of New Jersey.
And the Nature Conservancy, and see if it is a project that either of them would be interested in. And, our concerns as the environmental committee with the water protection. And if it is something that either of them are concerned about, then they might want to initiate a conversation.
Yeah, I'd want to check with our township attorney first, if that's something that the EC can do, or if that's intervening too much. But if it's just partnering them up, it's probably
Right.
different, but.
And
yeah.
and it wouldn't even be that, it would just be bringing a property to their attention.
Yeah.
And it's a public meeting, like if they were watching, they would know.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Could be as simple as like, hey, could you please watch this planning board meeting and this environmental commission meeting?
Yeah, there were some ideas thrown around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if it would be something that, conservation organizations would be interested in. To us, it seems like a great project, but we're not there yet
Mhm, mhm.
as a town.
Maybe we'll have to, yeah. I wouldn't want to issue anything formally, like
No,
without
no.
checking, but if they, then I think, I get the impression that they are aware of those, but
Mhm.
wouldn't hurt, I guess, to find out for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, I could very easily call Trisha or Sandy and just ask if they know about the project and the property, like very informally. Because they're, just colleagues that I've worked with in the past. Okay, so I may or may not do that.
All right. And Dean from the council.
So we have 4 updates really from the council. First one is the council passed an ordinance 2320 on Tuesday night, which is for water utility system improvements, 2.5 million, most of that in the format of bonds. And it's going to be used for a variety of projects. A lot of them are, I understand, to be overdue and in need, very well, large need. Water mains, also a lot of, I don't have the list in front of me, but I can get it if anybody wants the details. It might even, I think it was being published in the actual ordinance. A lot to do with our wells, so, closing properly, capping one well, putting in new technology and new communications equipment so we can have a better sense of our water system, the wells, and a little more protection around them. And so there's lots of infrastructure that related to the water utility system with a heavy focus on, obviously, the wells. So that was passed. The second one is that the council voted to approve that the mayor execute a new contract for a town manager, Jim Zepp. Hasn't been done yet, but the council gave him authorization to do it, so the terms seem to be agreeable. I think they just need to sign the contract, and at that point, we'll have a new town manager. Jim Zepp, some of you probably know him, is the current DPW director. Third is there was a presentation by the Highlands Council and CDM Smith. So I didn't know this at the last EC meeting. Actually, I didn't know this until late last week that they were going to be on the agenda. It was very similar to what we saw. Some of you who watched it, really informative. Again, Highlands Council, they were great. It was nice having CDM Smith here to talk a little bit more about and answer questions about the data collection methodologies and assumptions and the calculations and all that. And the focus was a bit more on a water conservation plan down the road and how that fits into the master plan. So that was interesting. A lot of the same slides that we had seen a few months ago. I guess it was July perhaps. But if you want to see it, I would recommend you go to that portion. It's right in the beginning of the council meeting. Goes on for a little while. And then finally, just a reminder that this is the 100th anniversary year for the Sparta Fire Department. And I believe the actual date's coming up soon. 100 years, volunteer. I think they said they have 60 members approximately, and hundreds of calls a year. I think it might be 500. I didn't actually hear it totally correctly. Don't quote me. I think it's maybe 500 calls a year. So just a little recognition and thank you again to the Sparta Fire Department. That's all my report.
Great, thank you. All right, unfinished business, so the Green Business Initiative. I did reach out to a couple additional organizations, including a chiropractor's office, as well as, what's the name of that medical office? I can't think of it right now, but a medical office also in town. Atlantic Health does have, in a lot of its other facilities, does have the green business, or I'm sorry, the New Jersey Sustainable Registration already done. So I was assuming the other offices locally to us would also want to do that. Anybody have any other updates on that one? Okay.
I'll ask somebody who's a dentist that I know in Sparta.
Great.
Yeah. I'm wondering also, it's kind of ironic though, since they're built on top of a C1 stream, but maybe Sparta Athletic Campus would want to be.
I spoke to Rochelle already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yep. Open space planning, so that was discussed, I think, at the council meeting also.
True, that was also discussed, and came
Yep,
up. And
and I think the request has gone to the Highlands Council, and we don't have an answer yet. Okay. So as soon as we get that answer, then we can kick off the activities.
The request for the funding?
The funding request, exactly. Yep. Next item is the Pollenskill River cleanup summary. So I want to get or Michelle's trying to get the pictures out on social media. And I think that's it. Anybody have any other feedback besides you got really wet? I was wet down to my socks.
It took 3 days for my shoes to dry out.
Yeah, we need better weather next year. Or a more lenient leader, I guess. I don't know. Okay. And Sparta Glen Arbor Day event.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same update as last time. I'm gonna submit a report that's due October 31st to ANJAC. It's just the update. But last time we had talked about potentially looking into the actual Arbor Day as the date of an event to incorporate students from Sparta schools into. So we're checking with the Parks Department to see whether the Sparta Glen would be available for hosting a field trip on Friday, April 26th of next year.
Good, mark your calendars. All right, there are 2 new business items that came just this afternoon from ANJAC. They are action requests from the environmental commissions. 2 resolutions that they're asking for us to look at and decide if we want to promote them to our town councils and see if they want to pass those resolutions. So the first one is the supporting of continuation of corporate business tax at the 2023 rate to fund open spaces, farmlands, historical preservation, and hazardous site cleanup. So in 2024, they're proposing slashing this budget so that it would be, let's see, they would slash approximately 60 million annually from that budget that they currently have in place to support those items. So I'm not suggesting that we take a vote on this today. I just wanted to introduce it and then give folks the opportunity to read it in more detail and look into the issue, since we just got it today. The second one is a
Can I
resolution.
ask a question on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
I don't know that I'll have the answer.
I didn't read the email from Anjac. I think this came in perhaps?
Yeah,
Or a
just today.
newsletter. Do
Yeah.
we know what the time frame is for us to act on this?
Yes, they want it by January,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
but you know how fast things work.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And we don't have that many meetings.
Well, yeah, we only
Yeah.
have 2 council meetings left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We only have, us 2.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to get it in front of folks today. So
Yeah.
next meeting, we can decide if we do want to promote it to our town council or not. The next one is the resolution opposing the expansion of the New Jersey I-95 Turnpike. This feels kind of far from us since it's an expansion of the New Jersey Turnpike in Jersey City. But they really are asking for support from all the different environmental commissions. So again, take the opportunity over this next 2-week period to read it in more detail. There is also going to be it's either November 1st or November 6th, an actual meeting on these resolutions that's being done. So you can register for those meetings to get more details on it. And then our first meeting in November, we'll circle back on these and decide. Okay?
This is what, we heard about this at the Congress.
Oh, you
the
did?
ANJAC Congress.
Yeah. Yeah. Only the one, right, though? I only recall the one.
The Turnpike.
Turnpike one, right? Yeah.
The Turnpike one.
Yeah.
So this other one is new. Any questions or comments? right now. And if you didn't get the email, I can forward it to you so you can register for the different.
I like them both. I've been in discussions about the turnpike. It's just so critical that we just don't build more lanes that to promote more cars, that we develop our public transit system more. So I'm definitely in favor of that. It's a harder sell, because we are far away, you know, and we have this disconnect, but it really does impact us both. And it sets us on a good course. That's a lot of money being spent, where it could be spent on other things that are more energy efficient and climate friendly and healthy. So I think that's a good one. It's so far away, though, I don't know whether our town council will see that as something that, you know, impacts us directly, you know, be harder, you know, to convince. So I think attending a workshop or discussion about it and asking that question would be valuable.
Okay.
And the other one's great too, I think. Yeah, we definitely need more open space and farmland here.
Yep.
It's not keeping up with the development and there's no balance still.
And that is the money that all of the statewide conservation organizations use.
Right. Exactly.
Or is that what,
60 million is a lot of.
it halt a lot of conservation efforts?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that it says in 2014, New Jersey voters actually approved amending the Constitution, New Jersey Constitution, to provide long-term sustainable funding for open space, historic, and yeah, so this is, and dedicating a portion of this tax to those programs. This is, cutting it is a big move.
Yeah. Maybe we don't need time to read these. Do we feel like? I would suggest. Yeah,
I'm already
You've already
decided.
decided. Okay. All right. Do we have a motion then? Has everybody decided, or you want to take more time?
For which one?
Both of them. Or do you
Okay.
need more time?
No, do we need more time?
Okay.
All right,
Seemed to be more conversation around the corporate business tax one, but,
yeah. Well, we can wait till next time.
so timing is, so the next council meeting would be on the November 28th.
Just not sure what we,
Oh,
You're
wait
having a
minute.
meeting on November 28th? You're not having, oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, not on the 14th, just 28th.
That would be the 9th that we would decide.
Our next meeting is it the 9th or the
Ninth.
14th? 9th, okay.
what would we be asking the council just to read this?
Well,
Yeah.
it'll give you the opportunity to attend the register for the 2 information sessions that they're having on this.
Uh-huh.
And then, if you have any questions about it, you could get them answered there,
Mhm.
and then we could vote then. But
I'm ready now.
that's what everybody's saying to me, so it's a bit-
Right, so I'm making a motion to show this to the council?
yeah, that we agree with these resolutions and we want to promote them to the town council.
That's my motion.
Okay?
Yeah,
Request that the
I'll
council-
second that.
Request of the council, yeah, approve them.
That would give Dean more time to work it into your council meetings if we decided tonight, or doesn't it make any difference? That would be my only question after the motion was made and before I second it.
Well, I think the sooner the better always. Doesn't mean that people can't still go to that seminar or that
Right, of
open
course.
session. The conversation I heard so far was about the Turnpike one, that there are some, it's more indirect. So I don't know if the recommendation would want to call out why the EC believes this is important for the council to consider. The tax one seems a little bit direct to everyone, but that's just my own comment, and I can't vote on this, of course, I can't, but
Yeah.
just some observations.
I would say that the Turnpike one does affect us because it, you know, it affects climate with, says in this third paragraph, surge in traffic will exacerbate roadway pollution, including air pollution from gas-powered vehicles, so on. which certainly does affect us, so.
Yeah, I agree. And we all have to use that turnpike.
Well, I
Go
think,
get anywhere in New Jersey really unless you go off the road. 206.
Does it have to be adopted in its entirety, or can we tweak it like the last time when they brought the
they're
model? ordinance?
models, so they can be tweaked.
Because maybe it would be beneficial to have the direct linkage
Mhm.
between the I-95 turnpike to Sparta.
Yeah.
Like listed directly in a whereas statement.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, why it's important for all of us to think about
Right.
still. Yep.
Okay,
And I wasn't implying that I was not in favor of it. I'm just, I was just saying what I
Yeah.
heard is one of the,
agree.
Was the motion made tonight by Linda and seconded by somebody for both
So-
resolutions?
I'll amend my motion to ask the council to support the New Jersey Keep It Green resolution as is. And for the environmental council to promote it to the town council.
Okay, so just the one about taxes. Okay. Do I have a second for that?
Yes, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Do you need to do a roll
Abstain.
call?
I don't know, we never really do formal roll calls, do we? Go ahead, yeah.
Yes. yeah, we
Okay,
did.
let's do it.
So Councilman Dean Blumati,
thing.
Chairwoman Kim Knoll,
Yes.
Vice Chair Neil Sauerwein,
Yes?
Christine Dunbar,
Yes.
Ted Gall,
Yes,
Christine Rogers,
Yes.
Linda Tower,
Yes.
Everyone knows I abstain, but I don't have a vote.
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear, I'm not allowed to vote.
And then for the I-95, we'll rework it a little bit, and I'll come back at the next meeting with a revised copy. All right,
thing is, though, my yes is under number 1 on the turnpike expansion.
Uh-huh.
Any should be most.
oh,
That's my,
okay,
Where is that?
Let's see,
thank
number one.
you. All right,
Any-
any other new business? Any other new business? Forgot where we were for a second.
So I guess I do have new business. Michelle, I guess in terms of procedure, does the EC, I guess, would send a memo now to the council?
I think
with
that's what we
this?
did
That's
last
that we
time.
did last time, right?
We had a, when we did that one for, I think it was Andrew.
We did the water.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was in the form of,
Okay.
yeah, so if you want a little bit of time to work on that, if it needs to be, but.
And I know our legal, Tom Ryan, will
Yes.
put it into their own format and
Yeah, that's what-
Sparticize it as needed.
Exactly.
Yep, that's what
Okay.
happened last time. too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't need to do anything directly then, I guess, except
No, I
in
don't
terms
think
of
you-
the
don't- You don't have
paperwork.
to do anything yet,
Yeah.
no.
But I do need a copy.
I can give you one. I'm sorry about that. My bad.
Oh, so I do have new business.
Okay, go
Just,
ahead.
it's actually, it's probably unfinished business, but just, and Neil can chime in. We had a wonderful time attending the NJEC Environmental Conference. It was a pleasure being there again. Thank you, everyone, to get the award, and I think there's some pictures I sent. We had some workshops, and we actually didn't duplicate workshops, so at a future meeting, I could maybe volunteer you too, we can just do a quick summary of what we learned in our
That'd
different
be great.
workshops, or at least what the topics were, and what's on people's minds. Yeah, and I think the general sessions were good, right? The NJDEP Commissioner La Tourette spoke. It was pretty interesting and had some good questions asked. And so it was a nice event. So I'd recommend it in the future if anyone wants to go. It's,
Should we do a press release with the photos that were taken and stuff?
we could, I think they give it a template.
Okay. Oh, they did give you a template? I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
they gave templates. They gave us 3 templates.
Oh, do you have?
could- modify.
Yeah, I think so. I'll forward them. I think I got the
Okay.
email. Chris, you probably got the email too, right? Okay.
If
Yep.
you could forward me the templates that you got, that'd be great.
'Cause I'd sent some pictures that Neil and I took, and then Jack actually sent pictures too, I guess, from their photographers, and they have a link. You can go on right to the link and see the ones their photographers took.
Oh, okay. I saw the pictures you sent, but I'm not clear if they were your pictures or the ones that they took.
Publicity, yeah.
Okay. And actually, I have one other item. We're 20 days out now, so we can go ahead and appoint new environmental commission members, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Mayor Dan needs to do that at
Yep.
some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my list to, he's been sick a little bit, but
Oh, no,
yeah.
okay.
So, but I understand he can also do that. I understand, I believe, outside of a meeting. 'Cause
Okay,
it's just an appointment.
okay,
So I don't know, I don't necessarily, we have to wait until a month from now still, so.
okay.
It's on my list. I'll be talking to him tomorrow, so. we
Okay.
can- And I know there's at least one applicant. I'll have to see if there's more that
Okay.
are already pending out there.
Great. And then we can reach out to the schools now that are in Sparta Township too. Okay, so I will also do that. All right. Anything else? All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Right.
adjourn?
Second.
Chris second. Meeting adjourned. Thank you so much.